Before we check today's daily math, yesterday you had your practice for your quiz. You know what you missed. If you're not sure why you missed it, then I need you to come talk to me so that we make sure that when you take your quiz tomorrow is going to be the last day of grades before report cards. Okay, so I want everybody making a good score. If there's something you're not sure of, I want you to come and talk to me so we can figure out what you're confused about, okay? So that everyone can make a good score tomorrow. Katie, I've asked you to close your Chromebook. I need you to set it to the side. All right, so let's look at today's daily math. First up, we had some fractions to subtract, and it wants to know which model correctly represents the problem. Olivia, how would we do this?
You would make sure that the bottom numbers are the same first, and all of them are the same. And then option 1 says 8 minus 7, and that equals 1, and there's 1/10, and then they X out 7 of them, and then there's 1 left.
Very good. So we know the denominators are the same, so we can subtract the numerator. 8 minus 7 equals 1. Our denominator is still 10, so 1/10 is the correct answer. If we look at the model, we can see that they started by shading in 8 pieces, and they crossed 7 of those out, which left you with only 1 piece. So option 1 is your correct answer.
Is this kind of what we've been doing on Zern?
Yes, it is. All right. Next, we have another fraction problem. This time, we're looking to see which model best represents the answer to 1 5/12 minus 7/12. So let's just look at 1 5/12. What does 1 5/12 tell me? How many holes do I have, Kaden? How many holes do I have in the mixed number 1 5/12? 1 5/12. How many holes are there? How many holes? What? 1. There's 1 hole. And how many 12th size pieces do I have? My number is 1 5/12. The 1 tells me the number of holes that I have. What number tells me the pieces I have?
15.
There's not a 15 in there, honey.
5.
So I have 5 12th size pieces shaded. I'm taking away 7/12. If I take 7 pieces, Jacob, will I be able to only use my pieces, or am I going to have to get into the hole that I have?
You're going to have to get into the hole that you have because 7's more than 5.
Exactly. 7's more than 5. So I know I'm going to have to use some of that hole if I take away 7/12 from 1 5/12. All right. So let's look at our models first. What's the total amount that we're starting with in this problem?
15, 12. 1 hole and 5/12.
1 5/12. So let's look and see which ones of our options we can eliminate automatically. Does option 1 show 1 hole and 5/12?
Yes.
Okay, so it could be option 1 maybe. Does option 2 show 1 hole and 5/12? No, it only has 1 3/12 shaded. So we can eliminate option 2. How about option 3?
Oh, yeah. No, because they're X'd out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But it started with 1 5/12 shaded. What's marked out might not be right, but it did start with 1 5/12. How about option 4?
Yes.
Okay. So we know it could be 1, 2, or 3. So we have 1 whole and 5/12 shaded in options 1, 2, and 3. And I need to show taking away 7 of the 12ths. So which one of those shows that we took away 7/12? Which one shows that, Harper? Option 2 didn't even have the correct number shaded to begin with. We've already eliminated option 2.
I know which one. 3. You all eliminated 3.
Christopher, which one is it?
2.
Once again, we've already eliminated option 2. Why do we know option 2 cannot be the correct answer?
Because it doesn't have.
Yeah, it did not start with 1 and 5/12.
I know it.
It started with only 1 and 3/12 shaded. So we know option 2 cannot possibly be the correct answer. So out of the 3 options we have left, which one shows 7/12 being taken away, Keith?
Number 1.
Option 1, exactly. It started with 1 and 5/12 shaded, and then they crossed out 7 pieces. What does that leave us with? 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12. So if we needed to find the answer to that, the answer is 10/12. Okay? Let's look at the next problem. We have some angles. It wants to know which angle is 180 degrees. Ansley, which option shows us a 180 degree angle?
Option 2.
Option 2. It takes 2 90-degree angles to make 180 degrees. And in option 2, there's 2 right angles put together. Is option 1 more or less than 180 degrees?
More. It's just a little bit more.
Right, just a little bit more. If I go from the complete right angle and follow that arc around, I go just a little bit past 180.
And option 3.
What size angle is option 3? What kind of angle is that, Brayley? Option 3. We go 1 right angle, 2 right angles, 3 right angles. If I follow that arc around. If I have 3 90-degree angles, how big would that be? What's 9 times 3? Okay, and then if we add our 0 at the end, it would be 270 degrees. Okay, let's look at option 4. Is option 4 a right angle?
No.
Is it an acute angle, Jaden? Yes, it's an acute angle because it is what?
It's small and it's like.
Yeah, it's less than 90 degrees, smaller than 90 degrees. You're exactly right. Okay, let's look at the next problem. All right, we have a triangle to classify. What are the 2 ways that we classify triangles? Ansley? The angles and the, what about so we look at the size of the angles, whether there's right angle, an obtuse angle, or if they're all acute. And what's the other thing we look at? The length of what? The sides. All right, so let's look at the angles. Do I have any right angles? No, there's no right angles. So we know that it cannot be a right triangle. Are there any obtuse angles?
Yes.
Yes.
That top
This
piece.
top angle is an obtuse angle. It is bigger than 90 degrees. So we know this is an obtuse triangle. Now we need to look at the sides. If all three sides are equal, what kind of triangle is it? Equilateral. Equilateral triangle. Are all three sides the same? No, so we know it's not an equilateral triangle. If there are two sides that are the same, it's an isosceles triangle. Do I have two sides that are the same?
No.
No, they're all different. So if all three sides are different, we know it's a scalene triangle. So you should have chosen obtuse and scalene. It's obtuse because there's a obtuse angle, and it's scalene because there's not any sides that are the same. Why is it not an acute triangle?
Because there are only two acute. They would all have to be.
Exactly. All three angles have to be acute for it to be an acute triangle. If there's one right angle or one obtuse angle, then since those are the little, acute's the little ones, then they just get trumped by the right or obtuse angle. Let's look at the next one. Dave collected 48 pieces of firewood. He put 6 pieces in the campfire and then made 7 equal piles. How many pieces, or W, were in each pile? How many pieces did he start with, Amy? He started with 48. So A is going to be 48. Then what happened to the 48 that he had? What happened, Olivia?
Minus 6.
How do we know that he took away 6?
There's a minus one.
Okay, what in the story tells us that we need to take away 6?
He put 6 pieces in the campfire.
Yeah. If he put them in the campfire, is he going to be able to use them again?
No.
No, they're gone.
They're gonna have
So we're going to have to do 48 minus 6 to see how many pieces there were that he split into the piles. So what are we going to divide that answer, the remaining firewood by?
6. 7.
Why 7?
Because it says 7 equal piles.
Yeah, it tells us 7 equal piles. So we know that A is equal to 48. B is equal to 7. What do the parentheses tell me I need to do? What do these parentheses tell me to do?
Subtract those first.
Just subtract those first. So if I do 48 minus 6, I have 42. And then I need to divide by 7. So 42 divided by 7 equals,
42.
what is it, Christopher?
6.
6.
I know that problem really well because of the quizzes. I
Good.
got 100 like all of them. And one of the problems was like 42 divided by 7 or 42 divided by 6.
And we know that 6 times 7 is 42. So if I do 42 divided by 7, I would get 6. Or if I did 42 divided by 6, I would get what? If I did 42 divided by 6, what would my answer be? 7. Thank you, Cash. So each pile had how many pieces of wood?
6.
6 pieces, because we did 42 divided by 7 equals 6.
Wait, I did the answer after 48 minus 6, and then I put C on accident. It's 42.
Okay. Gotta be careful about what we're doing, okay? Alright, next, we're multiplying 3 times 3/8. So if I'm doing 3 times 3/8, does the size of my pieces change?
No.
No, I'm still going to have 8 size pieces. What is going to change? If I make 3 groups of 3/8, will the size of my pieces, the denominator, change? Or the number of pieces, my numerator, change, Olivia? The number of pieces, the numerator. So to solve that, I can just multiply 3 times my numerator, which is 3, and that gives me how many eighths? 9/8.
So you do.
Okay. Can I make 9/8 into a mixed number, Christopher? Is it bigger than 1? It is. If I take out 8/8 to make 1 whole, how many pieces do I have left?
1.
1. Very good. So I need 1 and 1/8. Which one of those shows the correct answer? Which one's the correct answer going to be, Harper? Hey, option 2 does have the correct number shaded, but why would option 2 not be the best choice? Why is it not the best choice, Cash?
Because the second one has 1 marked out.
Yeah, it's showing that this 1/8 is being taken away, so that's not the best choice. Which one would be the best choice, Harper? Does option 1 show 9/8? Okay, so it can't be option 1. Option 2 has 1/8 being taken away. Option 3 shows 9/8 or 1 and 1/8. All right, we're going to stop there.